Hello my cousin, and welcome back to another video. I'm so sorry that I didn't do a proper introduction because I didn't think I was actually going to record this video. I was making some cakesicles for a client, and then when I was about to start, I decided to record this video. So for this video, you are going to need 4 cups of flour, 4 cups of sugar, 4 tablespoons of cocoa, 1 cup cooking oil, 4 tablespoons baking powder, 4 eggs separated, some vanilla essence, and maybe you'll need a bit of milk or some water. And these will be the ingredients that we are going to be using for this recipe. So from the videos that come on after this, it's going to be showing you exactly how to do it. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to like, to share, and I shall see you in the next video. Hello my cousin, and welcome back to another video. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I decided to start recording this video late. That's why everything looks like it's almost prepped, and I'm not using like proper nice balls because because I wasn't expecting to record this, but I decided why not. So basically we're making cakesicles. I've got an order for 30 popsicles for tomorrow. So I decided why not record it. So basically what you need is some eggs. These are separated because these are the egg whites. I've already separated them. The egg yolks are already in here with my sugar, and this is my cocoa that I've put warm water into, and this is my flour. So what happens when you're making cakesicles is it's basically the same recipe that you use to make a cake, except you are going to shape it into like the shape of whatever you want and you dip it. You'll see as we go. But for now, I've got about 4 cups of flour here, and I've already put my baking powder into this flour. And then here you separate your eggs, and then you mix your egg yolks and your sugar and your vanilla essence. This right here is our cocoa powder. You put warm water into it, and you put some oil, and you wait for it to cool down. This is the easiest, most fluffiest chocolate cake recipe you will ever find. So what will happen now is I'm going to show you what we need to do now. From here on, I'll be recording for you to see the steps. So basically what happens now is we now have to mix our sugar and our egg yolk with our cocoa and oil mixture. We'll mix this while the cocoa mixture is still warm, so that it actually helps dissolve the sugar, because we don't want to be tasting the sugar when we are eating the cake. It's actually preferable to use caster sugar or icing sugar if you have. I've been making this for quite a while, so it's easier for me to use any type of sugar, but the recommended one would be definitely caster sugar because it's finer and more thinner, and the icing sugar would be perfect because it just dissolves into the whole thing. So right now we're gonna mix this, and after we mix this, we are going to put this mixture into our flour, and then we'll be ready to bake. So I'll be showing you how to do that as we go. Okay, so this is how our mixture is actually going to look. It's going to feel very fine. You won't even be feeling the sugar and everything into the mixture. After that is done, you know that it's ready. So now you are going to take your flour. My flour already has the baking powder. I'll put all the ingredients on this video at the beginning, so that you all know what I did before. So what we then do is we put this mixture into our flour and we mix. Okay, so you are going to mix this with your flour. So now we are looking for that cakey consistency. don't be alarmed if it's a bit hard. That's fine. Just take a bit of milk or water depending on what you have, and then mix it. So it should be just a little bit thinner than this. This is too hard. We don't want it to be too hard. But also remember, we've got the egg whites. The egg whites are actually going to help with making the mixture a bit watery. The next step now is for us to beat our egg whites, and then you guys will see how that goes. We'll beat it into a meringue, and then we'll fold it into the cake. It actually helps with the air moistures and the air bubbles that will go in the cake that make it very, very fluffy. I always tell people this: when you make your cake, most recipes that you use your eggs whole, but separating your eggs is actually going to help you, because when you use them whole, the yolk is going to make the cake dense. We need the yolk and we need the egg white, but when you put it together at the same time, it makes your cake dense. That's why I put the egg yolk at the beginning, and now we are going to beat our egg white and put it at the very last after everything has been mixed and you're ready to put it in the oven. That's when you're going to fold in your egg whites, and then it's going to help with rising the cake and making it a bit fluffy. So yeah, so now our next step will be to beat our egg whites until they are stiff peaks, or they've reached stiff peaks, or if you know meringue, until it looks like meringue. So yeah, so now our next step would be to beat our egg whites until they've reached stiff peaks. So this is stiff peaks. This is actually soft peaks, but then I think this works too. Stiff peaks is when you do this and then this thing, like the peak of your thingy, remains pointy. So mine is soft because when you do it, it kind of falls, but it's still fine. For you to test if your egg white is fine, you can just put it upside down in the bowl. If it doesn't fall, then it's ready. So this is ready. Now it's ready to go into our cake mixture. Our cake mixture is already filling this thing. And what this egg white does it, because it adds a bit more moisture and it is fluffy, it makes it expand. So this might even be too little, but let's just do it. So what you do now is you take your egg white and you put it into your cake. The secret here now is, guys, do not mix it like this, because it kills the air bubbles that are actually in the egg white, the bubbles that we're trying to get into our cake. So what you do is you use the folding in method. You have to fold in the egg white and the cake. So you fold this in until you have mixed the whole cake and all the egg whites. This looks so beautiful. It's like a marshmallowy goo. Reminds me of like gooey chocolate cake. Maybe I should do that next. Tell me if you want to see that. So what you do now is you mix this. You keep mixing until you don't see the white anymore. Don't forget about the bottom part of your cake. Make sure you reach everywhere. Do you see those air bubbles? That's exactly what we are trying to create. So we are going to mix this until it is properly mixed. Beautiful. And now we're ready to bake. Alright, so now we need to bake. And my pan is here and it's ready. I love using this. Can you just focus? It's the Cook and Bake non-stick spray. It works absolute magic. Like, I really love this product. I use it all the time, even to cook. So we are going to spray our pan so that our cake doesn't stick, and then yeah, we'll put it straight into the oven. Be careful though, because this product, I had to cut the video because I was coughing so much, and that's the disclaimer I wanted to say. This product, because it's smoky like when you spray it, so it's definitely gonna make you cough. So maybe wear a mask or do it outside where the air is blowing in the different direction or something. But then yeah, basically after that has happened, we are going to now put our cake. This should be enough. I'm trying to get at least 3 cakes out of this, because it's gonna give me at least 50 popsicles, so that I have extra. You know, I've got little sisters, they would definitely want this. So yeah, it's really fun for the kids. I'm actually making it for a preschool. So yeah, so basically this is how the cake. Make sure you leave some space in the pan so that when your cake rises, it doesn't fall on the edges. So after this, we'll put it in the oven, and I'll see you after this is cooked in about 20 minutes. It doesn't take time because it is that fluffy. So yeah. So my cake is out of the oven, and can you see how fluffy this is? Like, oh my goodness, it's so fluffy. But I have to work fast while my cake is still hot, because I do not have a mold, which means I'm gonna have to break this cake apart. Guys, make sure that your hands are clean. So because of this, because it's still hot, it will be easier to mold. You see, like if I do this, it compacts. So that's what I'm supposed to do right now, and then I'll show you what we do. So basically this is how my cake looks now. You see, I put it in here. It's still a bit warm, so it's going to be easier to, you know, to compact, as you can see. So now what I'm now going to do is, here's my surface. Make sure your surface is clean. Always make sure your surface is clean, guys. There's corona, there's diarrhea, and you're handling food that people are going to eat. So on my surface, I'm just going to spray just a bit, because this is what I'm going to be using to actually make my molds for the cake. So this is how our cake is looking, né? I'm just gonna roll it a bit, guys. Don't make sure that you don't put too much pressure. We still want to maintain the fluffiness of our cake, but we also want it to be strong enough to hold on our stick. So I'm gonna roll this just for a bit. Remember, this is a cakesicle, so make sure that you also maintain the thickness from the bottom. Don't make it too thin, otherwise you are robbing people and your stick is not going to hold. So make sure that it's still a bit thick. So now after that, I am going to be using 2 molds for this. I am using the hot one, and I'm using the round one. So from here, what we then do is we press into our cake, and we have this beautiful cakesicle. So after that happens, you take your ice cream stick, and you slowly stick it in, and that is it. So after this, because this is still hot and we also want it to maintain its shape, put it on like a tray, put it in the freezer until it's completely frozen before you dip it into your chocolate so that everything holds. So these are our first 10 popsicles. Remember, I don't have a mold, so this is the best I could do with like my cutters. So now after this step, you have to put it in the fridge until it's almost frozen so that it holds, and then you dip it into the chocolate. So let's do that while we bake the next cake. So this is how our final product looks like. Yeah, so this is how the final cakesicles look like. So this is how the final product will look. absolutely stunning, guys. So if you try this, please tag me on your pictures so I can see. So these were being made for a client, and this is the final product. I actually forgot to mention, guys, that at the end of doing this, you are going to need some baking chocolate for dipping. I'm so sorry I also couldn't show you that part because I completely forgot to record it. I was running against time because my client was coming to pick up the product. So what you do is, after you put the cakesicles in the fridge, let them freeze for a bit because they hold up. If you try dipping them while they come out from the oven, then it will break apart. Dip it into the chocolate and let it cool. Then decorators, please.